Hello and thank you for watching our video. This is John Zimmer. I'm the owner of the Eco Hub in Oxford, Wisconsin. And today we're going to go over a department in the store that's actually quite popular, and that's the home theater department. When you think of home theater, you oftentimes think of the full setups of a television set, maybe it's a projector, but certainly it probably involves a stereo system or an amplifier of sorts. And that's exactly what we carry here at the Eco Hub. What I'm going to be specifically talking about are the different types of televisions that are available to consumers despite where you decide to make your purchase. Overall, there's three different types of televisions. First is a plasma TV, which is really how your flat screen TVs first started. And your flat screen TVs, while picture is very good, I think most people would certainly attest to the weight of the television as well as the amount of energy that's consumed by a plasma TV, and in addition to the heat that radiates off of that television. So after plasma TVs came LCD TVs, or liquid crystal display televisions. And liquid crystal display televisions were able to lighten the load dramatically. You could take a 50-inch TV that used to be 130 pounds and bring it down to closer to 40, 45 pounds. So a dramatic reduction in weight simply by removing the glass, which that's what plasma TVs were really known for, is you had heavier components including glass, where LCD TVs picked up the plastics and the lightness. After an LCD TV then came LED, or light emitting diodes, and LED TVs are more of the current platform that is used commonly with most applications, although LCDs are certainly a very good value today. But the LED TVs, the real advantage that they're going to have is they're able to give you a picture that's going to be much closer to what you're familiar with. If you started out with a plasma TV, you're switching over to an LED TV will be much, much cleaner. Finally, there is actually a fourth one, and it's actually not really that well known as some of the other models of LED, LCD, or even the plasmas, but this is called 4K, and 4K is the latest platform. 4K TVs are quite incredible, and we're not going to get into great detail with it, mostly because of its price point. You're dealing typically in the many thousands of dollars for a television set, whereas the TVs that we're carrying here at the Eco Hub, all of our TVs in stock are all going to be less than $495. So a great value with whatever we will have in stock at the time. Specifically now, after you've broken down the types of televisions, there's also going to be a difference for grades of television. And one of the grade changes that you will become aware of, certainly here at the Eco Hub, is we offer commercial grade televisions. A commercial grade television is going to do something very unique to what maybe the most consumers are familiar with. And let me demonstrate. First of all, even though from the front you might not be able to tell the difference, but it's really everything that is going into a commercial television that makes the difference. The base stand itself is a different grade of plastic. It's reinforced with metal, where commonly most of the others are not. The plastics are a better grade of plastic upgrades. And most importantly, what goes inside is what really is going to make the difference. And your big differences on a commercial television is what they're designed to be used on a daily basis. Typically, a commercial television is going to give you 20 hours of use per day, and you're going to get about 4 to 6 years of life out of a commercial television under those uses of 20 hours per day. As you look into the back of a commercial TV, this is really where the TV starts to differentiate itself now from a typical consumer TV. And what I want to focus your eye on are a couple of the basics. You still will have your VGA inputs, which is great. Many people are familiar with that if they're using a computer and hooking that up to their television. But in addition, in a commercial TV, you may only have just a couple of HDMI inputs. And HDMI inputs are really what's required nowadays for your dish service or your cable TV or even your HD signal that you're getting through the air or your air signal. So from your VGA to your HDMI, those look pretty common, as well as what you used to call a component or RGA inputs. And those inputs also are quite standard, still found, as well as your old cable TV pickup, which is commonly also still used in a cable type of application. So when you've got these four, that's typically what you're only going to find on a conventional television. However, with a commercial TV, you are going to be picking up additional plugs now that you're not going to be so much as familiar to. Certainly you'll have some internet inputs, you're going to have a number of opticals, and phone lines in addition. And a lot of times people will say, well, why do they have all these extra plugs? Well, typically, when dealing with a commercial television, the advantage where a commercial TV really plays its greatest role is a place where a TV is being played all day. So whether that be a bar or a tavern, a hospital, It could be in an airport, anywhere where TVs are commonly being used all the time. If you think about it, there's always additional plugins that are required. So if you're in a hotel, for example, you're going to need some of these plugins for the pay-per-view. If you are in a hospital bed, you're going to have just a simple plug-in for just your volume control, and your volume control that you commonly will see next to the bed at a hospital. So this is a commercial TV. I also want to show you a consumer TV as well. Now, one of the big differences that you're definitely going to see between refurbished TVs and many of the TVs that are sold at a big box retailer is the quantity, or how many of these items are going to be on the back of the TV. And that's going to be a very key thing to take notice of, because whether you have many different things that you're plugging in, like a Blu-ray player or a sound system or PlayStation 4, it doesn't matter. You need to know ahead of time how many things need to be plugged into the television. So you really want to concentrate on this. It's one of the most important things when buying a television, because if you can't plug everything in, it doesn't make any sense to be buying that particular model. Okay, now we're going to take a look at a consumer TV. Slight difference, and the difference primarily is going to be in the plugins themselves. So let's focus on those. Starting up at the top here, your common plugins for consumer TV is your USB, your Ethernet for your Wi-Fi, HDMI, multiple HDMI inputs, your VGA input, which is going to be for your monitor, your coax, again for your cable, and then you've got your various component and RGA plugins that are also commonly found. Now, this particular TV is a LCD consumer grade, and how I know it's LCD is based on its thickness. And that's something else that's going to be a difference between your LCD TVs and your LED TVs. Your LED TVs are much thinner. Usually, typically, the thickness of an LED TV is close to about 1 inch, whereas you can see based on the thickness of this LCD TV, you're closer towards 4 inches.